Right now, there are 31 satellites orbiting 12,000 miles above your head, and without them, the entire world stops working. Your phone dies, banks freeze, planes can't land. You've used this technology today, probably multiple times. But if I asked you how it actually works, could you explain it? GPS, the invisible system running your entire life, and the story of how it works involves atomic clocks, Einstein, and the US Navy. Let's break it down. First, the basics. There are 31 American GPS satellites constantly circling the Earth right now. They're floating 12,500 miles up. That's twice as high as the space station. And no matter where you are on the planet, at least 4 of them can always see you. But here's the thing, your phone has no idea where it is. It has to figure it out by listening. Each satellite sends a signal. Your phone catches it, measures how long it took to arrive, and boom, distance. One satellite tells you you're somewhere on a sphere around it. Kinda useless. 2 satellites narrow it down to a circle. 3 satellites? 2 possible spots on Earth. The 4th satellite locks it in. Boom, your exact location. Latitude, longitude, altitude. And by the way, this is called trilateration, not triangulation. Everyone gets that wrong. But for this to work, the timing has to be insanely precise. Light moves 1 foot every billionth of a second. If the satellite's clock is off by just 1/1,000,000th of a second, your GPS is wrong by 3 football fields. So how do they keep perfect time? Atomic clocks on every satellite. These clocks are so accurate, they lose 1 second every 300 million years. When dinosaurs walked the Earth, this clock would still be accurate. That's insane. But even that's not enough. GPS literally doesn't work without Einstein's theory of relativity. Because the satellites are moving so fast, their clocks run slower than ours. Time dilation. But they're also higher up, where gravity is weaker, so their clocks run faster. Net result? Every day, satellite clocks drift 38 microseconds compared to Earth. If engineers didn't fix that drift with code, GPS would be off by 6 miles every single day. So yeah, every time you Google a coffee shop, you're using Einstein's relativity. Wild. Okay, so how does all this physics actually reach your phone? The satellite just broadcasts 2 things: where it is and what time it is. Your phone grabs those signals, does the math, and boom, blue dot on the map. So why does GPS suck when you walk into a building? Because the satellite signal is incredibly weak, like light bulb level weak. It travels 12,000 miles through space. By the time it hits your roof, walls block it completely. That's why your phone switches to cell towers and Wi-Fi when GPS dies. It runs an algorithm that constantly guesses which signal to trust. That's your blue dot. But GPS isn't just for navigation. It runs the entire global economy. Stock markets, bank transfers, credit cards, they all use GPS clocks to timestamp everything. If GPS went down tomorrow, power grids would fail, planes would be grounded, banks would freeze, and that's exactly why GPS is now a weapon. The US controls GPS, Russia built GLONASS, Europe has Galileo, China launched Beidou. But what happens when GPS actually fails? Let me tell you about January 26, 2016. A US Air Force GPS satellite experienced a tiny timing error, just 13 microseconds off. Within hours, BBC radio stations went offline, police dispatch systems failed, airport navigation broke, because those systems all relied on GPS timestamps to coordinate their operations. This wasn't just the UK. The glitch affected GPS receivers across Europe and parts of North America. And here's the crazy part. The satellite itself was fine. It was transmitting perfectly. The problem was its atomic clock had drifted by 13 microseconds. That's 13 millionths of a second. But remember, light travels 1 foot per nanosecond, so 13 microseconds equals 13,000 feet of positional error. That's 2.5 miles of error. Your GPS would tell you you're in a completely different neighborhood. Emergency services couldn't locate 911 callers. Delivery trucks got lost. Financial transactions were delayed. The Air Force detected the problem within 90 minutes, but it took 12 hours to fully fix it. Because you can't just reboot a satellite. It's in orbit. You have to upload new instructions and wait. The Air Force never publicly explained why the clock drifted. They just quietly fixed it and moved on. But this wasn't a one-time thing. GPS outages happen more often than you think. In 2022, solar storms disrupted GPS across the Midwest. In 2019, a satellite software bug caused errors for 8 hours. Russia has jammed GPS signals in Ukraine. China does it near Taiwan. It's a modern warfare tactic. GPS spoofing is even scarier. You send fake GPS signals to make someone think they're somewhere they're not. In 2017, dozens of ships near a Russian port suddenly appeared to be 20 miles inland. GPS spoofing. So yeah, GPS is incredible, but it's also fragile, and the world depends on it staying online. If you control your own satellites, no one can shut you down. Navigation is power. So what's next? Centimeter-level accuracy for everyone. That's what lets self-driving cars stay perfectly in their lanes. It's already here. The last frontier? Indoor GPS, still unsolved. But 5G towers might crack it, using radio waves to map entire buildings. A satellite the size of a car, 12,000 miles away, running on 50 watts of power. All to tell you that you missed your turn. It's one of the most incredible inventions ever built, and we just take it for granted. That's GPS. If this changed how you see your phone, we did our job. New episode every week. Subscribe so you don't miss it. See you on the frontier. If you enjoyed this, we've turned it into a full podcast. Search for The Static Frontier on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen. New episodes drop every week, exploring the tech and science mysteries you never knew existed.